Hi guys, it's Liliya Light again, and today we are conducting the masterclass which is getting liberated from offense and fears. And I would like you to watch the cartoon about the offense.
Have I offended you?
Yes, you hurt me so much.
When did I hurt you?
A year ago.
What did I say wrong?
You said that Allison's mother is more attractive than mine.
And are you still offended at me after such a long period of time?
Of course, I am. I need to have somebody to be offended at.
Okay, thank you for watching this video, and by showing it, I hope that you are still with me and that you are watching our masterclass. And to make a stop control, I want to see if you're following me. So I'll conduct a very easy test. At the very beginning, you watch the video, so now write the number from 1 to 4 for yourself, to which category this girl's offense is related. Is it offense at words? It's somebody, or it's somebody who has done something to her or didn't do something to her, or her offense, which is equal to some envy. It's a very easy task. There's nothing even to think about. Yes, you're right. That offense is what has been said a long time ago. The paradox is that all the fancies are the strongest, and each person sleeps with a fence, eats with a fence, goes out with a fence, does shopping with a fence, goes to work and studies with a fence. It's deeply inside, no matter where he or she goes. And he or she produces the look that as if nothing had happened, and puts on a mask of a happy person. We run away from offense into different activities, such as watching serials, working on computer, going to work, doing hobbies, going out with friends, or we hang up on the phone with friends endlessly while complaining about our lives. Doing all this doesn't decrease our offense, it grows and turns into a big suffering and can even transform into a disease on a physical level. Very often, there are sore throat, a stomachache, and liver disease. That's why they say, the offense is stuck in my throat, or I can't digest this person so strongly I'm offended at him. If you can't digest a person, you have stomachache. Or I'm fed up with this person, he sits in my liver. Offense can also affect other inner organs. The blow of offense affects the weakest spot in your body. So now we see that offense is destructive, and what I would like you to do is I would like you to get liberated from offense, and we'll do it with the help of the technique which is called farewell, forgive, let it go. So the sense of this technique is to forgive a person. How can one do it? Modern word forgive in old Slavic language sounded like say farewell. In other words, to say farewell meant to let the offense, the person, or situation go. And today we will use this useful knowledge as a basis, and we will say farewell to offense forever. So now I ask you to close your eyes, sit comfortably, and it is desirable that you hear no disturbing sounds from around. So we start. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Concentrate on your normal breathing. Inhale and exhale. Now we'll make a short trip. Imagine that you're standing on a bus stop. The bus comes, you get on it and sit in the back seat. The bus is starting off and you begin to observe the passengers who sit in front of you. Suddenly you understand that you know all these people and all of them are your offenders from the past. These are all people who offended you in the past. To have a close look at them, you sit in the front seat of the bus facing these people. There's only 1 minute before the first stop. Your first offender stands up, recognizes you, comes to you, greets you, shakes your hand, and you ask him how is his or her life. He or she answers you kindly. You wish this person all the best aloud, and he leaves the bars. At this moment, you give him or her farewell with the arm and say sincerely, "Farewell forever." In such a way, your first offense is dissolved, and the bus starts off again. There's only 1 minute before the second stop now. Your second offender stands up, recognizes you, comes to you, greets you, shakes your hand. You ask him how is his or her life. He or she answers you kindly. You wish this person all the best aloud, and he leaves the bars. At this moment, you give him or her farewell with arm and say sincerely, "Farewell forever." In such a way, your second offense is dissolved, and the bus starts off again. There's only 1 minute before the third stop. Your third offender stands up, recognizes you, comes to you, greets you, shakes your hand. Imagine all this and visualize it. You ask him or her how is his or her life. He or she answers you kindly. You wish this person all the best aloud, and he leaves the bars. At this moment, you give him or her farewell with arm and say sincerely, "Farewell forever." In such a way, your third offender is dissolved, and your third offense is dissolved. Now there are 3 minutes left before the fourth stop. All your offenders want to get off at this bar stop. They get off their seats, they recognize you, they approach you, greet you, shake their hands, and you wish them all the best one by one, and they all leave the bars. Do it by yourself with all the offenders who are left. I will give you some time. And now you're approaching an everlasting final stop. You leave the bars with joyful heart and feel final liberation from all offenses from the past. You feel joy and easiness in your heart. Inhale life with all your chest. Inhale liberation and joy. Deep inhalation and exhalation. Deeply inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And slowly come back to your room. Stretch yourself and open your eyes. Now let's look at the difference between two notions, shame and fear. Let's start from the term shame. In many cultures, children were brought with belief that modesty works well in a person's life. Or the mother often told her child, "Don't do it, it's a shame," although in child's understanding it was only a game. But mother's belief has become child's belief in his adult life that many things are a shame. From this belief, the whole system of values and behavior styles has appeared. In particular, there has been a prohibition to express personality creatively and openly, to speak in public courageously and confidently. Due to this reason, many people have low self-esteem. Some people are so ashamed of themselves and they can't accept themselves that they feel big discomfort in old and new surroundings of people. So the society has created the feeling of false shame, and it is false because people have created these lies by themselves. And the lies is that the person should feel shame for something. Now, think and answer. What do you feel shame for today? For example, I've achieved nothing in my life. Or I feel shame to fully express myself and to do what I want to do. Or I feel shame the way I am. Or I feel shame for doing something. Or I feel shame for not doing something. Think about it carefully for a minute. I think you know where your shame lies in. In allegoric sense, shame is a master and fear is his slave, although in real sense they are brothers. In other words, I'm so ashamed to act, to think, to say something that I'm scared to death. In such a way, shame rules your actions through your fears. Let's go further and answer the question, what is the reason of your fear? Let's watch the video about fear.
Are you scared?
Yes, I am scared.
What are you scared of?
I am scared of death.
And why and when will you die?
I don't know.
And why are you scared then?
I don't know. I am scared just in case. Everything may happen. It may happen I die.
You are scared because you got used to living in fear. And what is the most important is that, in fact, you don't want to change anything because new fear of changes and fear of the future appear. What is the most interesting is that all these fears were built in you when you were in the mother's womb. At that very moment, your consciousness was formed. You were like a seed that was absorbing all sounds of external world from your mother, from your father, from your grandparents, or even from the midwife who performed delivery of your mother. For example, if your mother, being pregnant with you, was scared that her husband can insult her, you also developed negative life program, such as it is dangerous to live with men, they constantly insult and abuse. There are plenty of such beliefs, and they work in your adult life to their full extent. And you'll have to get liberated from them through reprogramming your negative life programs into positive ones. Now, let's look what are you afraid of. Today, you have one or more of these fears. The first fear is a fear of failure. From the moment you feel that the response which you give to someone is wrong, a fear of failure appears. The future has not come yet, but you seek and predict what will happen in 12 days. Who determines what success is and what failure is? The answer is your mind. And your mind rules you. But the mind should not rule you. You can rule the mind because you are its master. You can focus on different thoughts. The next fear is fear of the future. Having fear of the future, you're afraid of the result and you conclude that there will be a negative result. And the next fear is the fear of being rejected. You can think, well, my experience in this matter is not as it is with other people, so why should I share it with them? You assume that people would laugh at your words. At the moment when you have assumed that, indeed, people will laugh. The next fear is fear of death. Each person has a psychological fear of losing something that is familiar to him. And it's not just death of the body. This fear manifests itself only in relation to something, to close people, cumulative funds, or property. The next fear is fear of becoming no one. We all want to be somebody, a director, professor, famous person, and so on. And these programs are located in your body as charges. And that is the big ego that wants self-realization in society. But we also have another part of ourselves, which is called spiritual I. Spiritual I is much higher than our ego, and it is more concentrated on feeling joy and happiness inside, even without becoming anyone, without becoming a director, a professor, or a famous person. And the last fear is fear of God. Deeply inside, you may think, God will punish me for my mistakes. While thinking in such a way, you repulse God. God never punishes people. He loves them with all his heart. The power of fear at the moment of fright is the same for everyone, no matter what he is afraid of. One person is afraid of snakes, the second person is afraid of mice, the third one is afraid of maniacs. One boy was incredibly fearful of snakes, that he was placed on the highest floor of a safe skyscraper with a preliminary check of all the rooms and closing of all windows and doors. The next morning, when the door to his room was opened, he was found dead on the floor, and a venomous snake was crawling beside him. The power of fear has such a nature that it can manifest itself if your thoughts in the space condense so much that they can form a special energetic bundle able to turn into the object of fright. They say, and they say it not in vain, you get what you are afraid of. Acknowledge that fear is only a thought, which causes a physical feeling of discomfort. While you are running, fear is stronger than you are. Stop there where you are and let this fear overtake you. When the fear eats away at you, you are not there. When you meet with your fear face to face, you see that it is unreal. For example, you are trekking through a dark forest and suddenly it appears as though you've stumbled upon an enormous snake. Your heart jumps to your throat, but you muster up the courage, approach it, and realize that it is a rope. Now you are certain that your feeling of fear is unreal. You can also visualize your fear as a tiger, luring you into a dark room. The faster you run, the more quickly he follows you. You already feel how his jaws are clenching over your back of the head, how his hot saliva is falling on your crown. You make a final push with the hope of saving yourself, and you're pinning on the wall and there's nowhere to run. You have nothing to do but to face the tiger and wait for the verdict. Of course, the verdict is unique. The tiger swallows you whole without even choking, and so you are no longer present. You are inside the tiger and it's comfortable, quiet, and dark. Fear no longer exists because you are already there. You have experienced it already. You are surrounded by it, but you can no longer see it. It exists externally. Fear is an illusion, and you destroyed it, having jumped into the tiger's mouth. During moments of intense fear, you experience this feeling completely through the suggested allegory of the tiger, and you are released. Now I ask you to contemplate your fears, write them down in your notebook, and look into their eyes. I would like to give you 5 minutes, maybe even less, maybe 3 minutes for doing that, because I think that's enough, because you already know your fears. Thank you. I think you had enough time to contemplate your fears. And I'd like to say that all your fears, emotions, and worries live in your subconsciousness. That's why I will clean your subconsciousness from the fear of the defining day with the help of the technique Fear Clearance with its roots. Why are we clearing the fear of the defining day? Because we all have some defining day when we have to make the right decision, we have to be strong, and we have to overcome some type of fear. That's why now I ask you to find some comfortable, quiet, and warm place where I hope you are now. You can sit or lay down and relax completely. And we start.
Close your eyes. Make 3 deep inhalations and exhalations. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, good. Now visualize your fear of the defining day. With which feeling is this fear reflected in your body? May you have your heart in your boots, or may you have some pain in your chest, or may you have butterflies in your stomach, or may your knees shake, or may your skin sprawl. Do you sweat or feel cold inside? Go inside this feeling. Identify the spot in your body where there's much of this fear. Find the spot in your body where this fear lives. Start doing it now, please. Thus, you've identified the spot in your body where your fear lives. You've defined this feeling. Now, you have to remove this fear from this spot of your body. Continue keeping your eyes closed and visualize 100-point grading scale on the thermometer with a column of mercury. This is a scale of your fear. Define the size of your fear from 0 to 100 points in accordance with this scale. Try to see to which mark of 20, 30, 40, 50, or 100 points the column of mercury raises. Remember this mark. Start doing it now, please. Now, you'll mentally decrease the mark of your fear as much as you can. For example, if you have the mark of 85 points, you'll visualize it and decrease its column of mercury, let's say, if you can of course, until 70 points. Each of you will have different criteria. Some of you won't be able to decrease this mark at all. It's nothing at all serious. It means this is your size of fear at the given moment. Simply follow my further instructions. Your subconsciousness will start working with your fear to full extent at any moment, in the course of conducting this technique or after completing it. Now we are doing preparatory work, and we are programming your subconsciousness for liberation from the fear. In any case, command for decreasing the fear is being given to your subconsciousness through your consciousness right now. So, we start. You're mentally decreasing the mark of your fear as much as you can. Remember to which point level you've managed to decrease the mark of your fear. To decrease this mark even more, you'll have to remove fear from your body. Keep your eyes closed. Visualize how you're removing the fear from the spot where it lives. Some of you may clean this spot with a dirty mirror with a duster. Some of you may pull up your fear by the roots from the painful spot with the help of the shovel and burn it on the bonfire. Some of you may put a knife into your fear. These are only examples. There are plenty of variants. Choose the first one out of these variants, the variant which will come to your mind, and do it. Now transfer your mental focus to the scale of your fear again. Remember to which mark you've managed to decrease your fear. After you've cleaned your body from the fear, you can decrease the mark of your fear, let's say from 70 to 40 or even to 25 points. Each of you will have his own criteria. If the mark does not go down, don't worry, it will happen after completing this work. So, visualize the scale of the fear and decrease its mark.
Now slowly open your eyes and come back to the room. You see that technique fear clearance with its roots can help you in everyday life whenever your fear comes. So in such a way you can use it anytime you feel that you have fear inside. I want to thank you for your wonderful job today that you are doing with me. And at the end of our masterclass, I would like to share with you a wonderful formula for complete rethink of offense and fears. Never think that somebody is to blame for your offense and fears. It's more healthy to think, I'm the one who is responsible for my offense and fears. I take this responsibility, and with complete awareness, I choose to think in a new way. And this new way is, I'm completely free from offense and fears. Offense and fears are illusions. They don't exist. Miracle of this affirmation is that you stop judging others, you stop living in remembrances of sad past and in anticipating of unhappy future. You go out of the circle of fears and offense, you take your own responsibility for your life. The mechanism of this formula is that you pronounce this affirmation numerous times as a new awareness and record it to the hardware of your subconsciousness, knowing that you are the only one who is responsible for the current circumstances of your life. It automatically cleanses the guilt of your offenders and leads you to spontaneous action. You start acting favorably in your own favor, and negative situation together with a feeling of guilt dissolve completely. At this point, I'd like to say that our masterclass is over Continue to work with your fears and defense. Use the techniques that I shared with you today. Tomorrow we are meeting again at 11 a.m. at Toronto time. The topic of our tomorrow's masterclass will be how can one correct mistakes in life? How can you get rid of endless stress? How can you stop hating and blaming yourself and others? As for today's masterclass and for the whole online live design course that I'm conducting now, I'm inviting you to donate for this course, and the link for donation will be below this video. Please put your likes, comments, and questions below this video, and visit my website, which is waytohappiness.guru. It is temporarily under construction, but when it will be constructed again, you can see everything there. And now on the screen, you see the link for donation, which is waytohappiness.guru, wixsite.com live design. So thank you for your attention. See you tomorrow. Always yours, Liliya Light.